athletes, basically because they have more muscle mass and they're more active, means they're breaking it down at a faster rate, have to eat more total protein than the average person, but it means more total carbohydrate and more total fat. Not that much more, but a little more. And it means they have to eat, rather than 3 meals and 2 snacks per day, probably 4 meals and 2 snacks per day. But basically trying to maintain an incoming flow of protein to help regenerate the muscles before their next bout of exercise. So again, athletes do not need 10,000, 12,000 calories a day. Anybody, I'll use Michael Phelps as an example. He said, I eat 12,000 calories a day, and you look at the guy, he's the world's greatest swimmer, but he looks emaciated. Now, does he need 12,000 calories? No, it turns out actually he has a problem. He cannot make ATP effectively. He needs to eat 12,000 calories to make enough ATP. The athletes I've worked with would be ranging between 1,700 and 2,500 calories per day. Like Valentina Vasali, after her third Olympics, she was going, she's going to have her first child. And this was in June, and the World Championships were coming up in October. She said, if I have my child in June, is there any chance I can compete effectively in the World Championships? I said, of course you can. So after the birth of her child in June, she went on a very rigorous zone diet, no more than 1,700 calories per day. And she's working out 8 hours a day. And she lost 40 pounds and basically won the World Championships in October. Was she eating 8,000 calories a day? No. But she was making adequate levels of the chemical energy ATP that she could compete 8 hours a day of exercise without consuming massive amounts of calories. And that's important because the other way to increase inflammation is simply to eat too many calories. And that's the way basically you age faster and basically develop chronic disease at a faster rate. So we know the only way of basically living longer and living better and performing better is really calorie restriction. Eating the least number of calories that gives you enough physical energy and mental acuity to see you through the day. The zone diet gives athletes that. But people who basically are athletes basically say this is a license to eat. They still look good in swimsuits, but they will not perform as well.